So this is my A7 IV Sony camera with a Samyang 85 1.4 lens, and I'm having an issue with the lens. This is my second copy. We tried it with a third copy and also two different bodies. So what happens is that when I turn off the camera and turn it back on again, the aperture always goes to 1.4. This happens also on my A6400 camera body, but it doesn't happen as often. Maybe on that it happens once every like 5 times. It'll happen consecutive times in a row. Sometimes it happens once in a while. But on the A7 IV, it's a issue that keeps happening. Maybe about 19 out of 20 times it'll happen. This also happened at the store with their copy and their lens that they had there. They told me to return it. So now you can see my aperture says it's at f9. But really the screen is very, very bright. I will change it now to f8.0, and you can see everything turn to the right brightness. I turn off the camera, turn it back on, and you can see everything is super bright again. It's still showing f8, but it's really not f8, it's f1.4. So I turn it down to f7.1 and you can see it's the right brightness. And you can see when I change it to f1.4, that's pretty much what you've been seeing whenever I turn the camera on. So I have it at f1.8, so it's not quite all the way down, but just so that you can see when I turn it back on, it does go down to f1.4 as far as the display is showing. I'm going to turn it off, turn it back on again, and you can see the aperture still says f8, but it's really f1.4. I'll take a picture, I'll play it back, and the display still shows f8.0 when it's really f1.4. It does have the latest firmware, which was in 2019. That's when it came out. So that is installed. I checked on that. But it has a little bit of an issue here. The store actually said there's a few more issues. I didn't ask what those issues were. I just wanted to return the lens because I tried a couple copies already. So it seems like there's an issue with it. Some people said, I think it was on Facebook, I was chatting with some people. They said that they have issues with, I think it was the A7 III or A7S3, but it doesn't happen that often. It seems like the A7 IV where it's having the issues with the most. So hopefully it gets fixed with the firmware because I really like the lens a lot. And if it doesn't get fixed, I'm probably just going to get the Sony f1.8 85mm. So there's no rush for me to get it right now. So that's what I'll be using. I do have this Samyang 35 1.8, and I have no issues at all with that lens, with this body or any of the bodies.
Awesome! Woo! What an honor to have this guy on stage. One more round of applause.